Hi guys, in this video I'll be showing you my top 10 picks of stocks that I think are about to triple or go beyond that within like a very short period of time. How do I know that? It is because I have most of these stocks that I'm going to be showing you in my portfolio, and they've already done wonderfully well for me. Stick through to the end, maybe you might find something that's really interesting. So without wasting any time, let's get into it. My first pick is SI, ticker symbol SI. So this stock is a new IPO. It just started trading somewhere around the 1st of November 2019. On this ticker alone, I've already made north of 100% in return with just this stock alone. I'm pretty sure I got this thing somewhere around like 20 something, and it's now trading at about $66 per share. So the ticker symbol for the stock is SI. They are in the finance sector. In industry, it's regional banks with about 215 employees. So looking at their company financials, they got like a market cap of like 1.2 billion already. So they are a unicorn. This is like a startup, new IPO, and it's already doing wonders. They got a pretty decent looking balance sheet right here. As you can see, they got total asset of about 2.6 billion. Total assets of about 2.6 billion with really good operating metrics. Like for instance, look at their return on equity, pretty decent. Return on asset is looking really good, and they got a good revenue per employee. At some point in time within like the past year, they were trading at $7. Right now they are not like really right now, but like at some point in time within like the past year or so, they were at $78 per share. This is really good, guys. Like this is like really good, and there's still room for this thing. It can really go beyond this. They don't offer dividends. You won't expect like a startup company that's still small to offer dividend. They probably investing everything that they are making onto growing their company, so that investors can make money and them too can grow. Looking at their income statement, last year's revenue, you can see they've already made like over 91 million in revenue, and they got a total revenue of about 91 million. So guys, like I'll really be loading up and adding more and keep on buying this thing for like the next, maybe I don't know, months or weeks or years to come. And I'm really thinking this is still in the morning for this thing. This thing is like really going to see some extremely great heights. Let's not waste any time and move on to my next pick, which is like a really wonderful stock. And by the way, stick to the end to see my best of the best pick that I've already made the most out of it, like throughout 2020. Let's go on to the next stock. Okay, the next one, guys, is ticker symbol PACP. The stock got a ticker symbol of PACP. They are in like the biotechnology industry. With about 404 employees. They got a valuation already of about like 5.1 billion, with like a number of employees of about 404. It's of which is really good. They got total assets of about 3.31 million. Operating metrics looks really good. They got a good revenue per employee. Look at this thing. At some point, like within just the past year, it was trading at $2 per share, and then it moved into a highest price of about $29.7 per share. This thing just spiked over the next couple of years, and I'm think like it's really in the morning. I got this thing somewhere around $12 or $13 per share, and I've already made like somewhere around like 70, 80 or 90%. I'm not really sure, but like the percentage that I've made here was extremely high. So this is something that I'm going to be continue to loading it up on my portfolio. I'm going to be buying more of this within the next couple of years. Like this is like a high growth potential candidate. This is something that's going to be doubling, tripling, quadrupling within like a short period of time. I think like this move right here that we had in 2020 is just like, it's just the beginning, guys. This thing is on fire. It's moving. As you can see, they don't offer dividend too. They are still a startup. Good income statement, free cash flow of about 18.1 million, total revenue of about 90 million. Let's see, they do have like a gross profit of about 7 million. So guys, like this thing is going to be skyrocketing. This thing is going up, and I'm going to be loading up on it too. I'm not going to sit there and watch it. Like I'm going to be loading some more. Let's quickly move on to the third one, my third one, which is like one of the most interesting picks I have on my list, but the best of the best is going to be like on the last one. So make sure you stick to the end to see that one too. I really have like really hot stocks that I have on my portfolio that are doing wonders for me. I hope you can find something interesting too. Let's go to the third one. Guys, like I've made over 150% on just this stock alone next year, this year actually. So it like returned me over 150%. The name of the stock, or the ticker symbol for the stock, is SOL. They are in the semiconductors industry, in electronic technology industry. Let's look at their like financials. First, starting with the evaluation, they get like a valuation of about 466 million, with a price to revenue of 5.6, price to book of 4.92, and price to sell of 3.3. The balance sheet looks like really good. They got a total asset of about 2.89 million, with a total debt of about 1.13 million, and they get like some really good operating metrics, as you can see here. But here's the wonderful part: this thing was like in the pennies, in the cents, within like the past year or so, and then it was at some point in time it peaked and traded at about $12 per share. Right now it's at its like all-time high, because it's trading at about $12.50 a share. So like I don't know, I got this thing somewhere around 4 or 3, yeah, somewhere around $4 per share. I've made already over 150% onto this thing, just this thing alone. The ticker symbol is SOL. SOL. They got a total revenue of about 1.19 it's actually 119 million, the same as last year's revenue of about 119 million, with a gross profit of about 5.9 million. So guys, like as I'm just said, I'm going to be continuing to load more and more of this thing. I think this thing is still early for it. Like look at this thing. At one point it was trading at about like 129, somewhere around $125 per share. Look at it now, it's at 12. If it can just hit this high, it's like I don't know how much of a growth is that. So I'm going to be loading this thing up for the next couple of weeks, next couple of months. I'm just going to be keep on loading in. I think there's a huge growth potential for this thing, and it's still early. Let's move on to like my fourth like pick that I have in my portfolio that also did very well for me so far. Okay, next up guys, we got this ticker symbol PIC. As you can see right here, I wanted to show this part. Like I've already made over 97% on this ticker symbol alone just this year. Let's go into the stock. So the ticker symbol for the stock is PIC. They are currently at about $19.63 per share. Pretty much negative for the day, but that's not the purpose of this stock. Let's see as it loads the charts and some financial information that will be going through it very quickly. So this one has actually completed its merger with another company, and as you can see, its data is not available. So we're going to move on to the next or my fifth pick. Stay tuned. On my next list, guys, like I got this ticker symbol SPE. So the stock has actually got a ticker symbol of SPE. They got a number of employees, which are 3. They are in the finance sector. As you can see, guys, like I've almost made over 100% on these things. I've got it somewhere around $16 per share, and it's currently now at about $43 per share. So it's really skyrocketing, and it's actually an IPO. We started trading at about like September 2019. Looking at their market cap, they are at about $1.7 billion in valuation, which is really good with just 3 number of employees. Really awesome. They got a pretty good looking balance sheet. Total assets of about 317 million. Operating metrics looks really good. They should be operating really well. Look at this, guys. Like this thing has been trading at about $9.3 per share over like the past year, and it has peaked at about like $49 per share. This is like really a high growth candidate. This is something that I'll be loading up onto. These are the kind of things that I keep on my portfolio. I had this thing on my portfolio since about October or so, somewhere around there, and I'll continue be adding up, and I'm looking at this thing to like triple and go beyond, double, quadruple, and go beyond. I think it's still early for this like symbol or for this stock. Like there's a lot of room for it to grow, and I'll be keeping on buying on it. They got like a pretty good looking income statement. They got a pretty good income statement with like a net income of about 779k. So they are already operating at like a profit with just 3 employees, with a market valuation of about 1.7 billion. This is really awesome. This is really amazing. This is a high growth candidate that I'll be looking forward to actually load more on it. Stick until to the end, guys. Like I got a really huge surprise for you, and along the way you might find something that can be really speaking to you, because I got like a really high growth and high flying stocks on my portfolio that I'll be sharing with you. Let's move on to my 6th pick, which is also another amazing candidate that I have. Okay, guys, my next pick is this stock with a ticker symbol NTZ. Looking at their valuation, they are at about 125 million. Let's look at their 52-week low price. It was trading at like the pennies actually, and then it peaked at about $14.5 per share. So it really did amazing over the past year. They got like pretty good balance sheet with a total asset of about 402 million, which is really amazing. Good income statement, very solid income statement, with total revenue of about 43 million. No dividends yet, not a deal breaker, but what I like is like its growth over like the past 52 weeks or the past year has been tremendously amazing, and I'm going to be loading more off of this thing. I like this thing. I'm going to be getting more and more of it, and looking at its price history a bit, like it was once trading at about like $146 per share. Imagine if it can get back to that like price within like short period of time, like next couple of months, weeks, or even years. That will be like some really good returns right there. So I'm going to be loading up on this thing more and more of it. Like we're going to quickly move on to my 7th pick. On the 7th pick, we got this stock with the ticker symbol MGA. Pretty solid company, a really big company with over 165k employees. Magna International Inc. They got a market capitalization of about 21.9 billion. 165k employees. Looking at their balance sheet, it looks pretty decent. Look at their debt to equity ratio, very small, which is good. Total asset of about 26 billion. Operating metrics looking really good. They got an income statement that's pretty solid with a free cash flow of about like 1.37 billion. Looking at a bit of their past financial, this thing has just been like a high growth individual stock. It was once trading at about like 0.17 dollars per share, and it's now at about $73 per share. It's actually at its all-time high as it speak. I'll be loading more and more of this thing like in future, in a couple weeks to come, couple months to come, hoping it's going to double in value or triple or even quadruple and go beyond that. Like, this is a really high growth individual candidate that I have in my portfolio that has done me pretty well over a couple of months, so I'm going to be loading more and more of it. Let's move on to my 8th pick. On my 8th pick, we got like this let me call it not really an IPO, but it's like a new kid on the block, some form of like it IPO somewhere around 1 December 2017, and it has done pretty well ever since. The ticker symbol for the stock is PRPE, and they are in the finance industry or financial conglomerates. They got a market cap of about 90 million. With a good balance sheet, total asset of about 6.03, total debt is at about 2.45, debt to equity ratio is at about 76.5, 52-week low. So over the past year they've been trading at about $9.8 per share, and their highest price was at about $76.9 per share. This is a huge gaining in price or in such a short period of time, and that's what we actually want. We want to hold things that are high growth potential stocks that are going to triple, quadruple, and go beyond that, like in double your money and do all those kind of things. They don't offer dividends yet, don't have like much of their financials. They are still new into the game, or maybe they are not releasing much of that information to the public. But yeah, I like this stock, and I'll be keep on loading it more and more as like times goes by. I think it's going to quadruple, triple, and go beyond and above that, or above my expectations. So I'll be loading more and more of this thing within the next couple of weeks and months to come. Now we're going to my 9th pick. Stay tuned to the end, as I have like my best 2 picks coming, and the best of the best pick that I have is coming at the end, which is my 10th pick. So let's go to the 9th pick. Okay guys, my second last or 9th pick stock is actually, there's a stock with the ticker symbol BEEM. I've already made over close to 200% on this thing alone. Let's look at the company. They are in the utilities sector with 35 employees with a market cap of about let me say 463 million. Got a pretty good balance sheet. Total asset of about 18.4 million, total debt of about 2.9 million, quick ratio 7.2, current ratio of 8.29. They got like some pretty good operating margins. Let's look at their last year's revenue. It was at about like 5.112 million. So this thing was once trading at about $3 per share, within like the past year, and it peaked at about $69.6 per share. It really did wonders over the past year, and I think there's still room for this to grow. It's currently trading at its all-time high, and I think it's going to move and keep on climbing and climbing. That's why I'm going to be loading more and more of it. I've already made over 200% on this thing just alone this year. So yeah, this is my second best pick for the year that I have, and that I'll be keep on loading more and more of it. Let's move on to the last one, which is my best pick for the year. So guys, this is my last pick. It's a stock by the name or the ticker symbol PLLK. PLLK. Guys, I've almost made close to over 500% on this thing alone just in 2020 or this year. Look at this thing. It was once trading at about $1.25 per share, and it's currently now at about or it peaked at about like $56 per share. I'm not sure if I really got this thing, but like somewhere around $2 or $4, somewhere around that range. But like I've already made over 500% on my portfolio with just this thing alone. It has been growing insanely crazy, and I think it's still very early, still in the morning. This thing will be going further and further up. They got a market cap of about 1.51 billion, 193 number of shareholders, with just 67 employees. They are doing pretty well on the balance sheet with good operating metrics and a good income statement with a revenue of about 2.75 million. So yeah, these are my top 10 picks for the year that I'll be keeping on loading more and more of them, because I think they are about to triple within the short period of time. Thank you guys for watching. Cheers.